I'm wearing a 90s reference on my shirt so I seem down to earth, approachable, and cool like the kids. Hi, I'm Jazza, and I'm here to help. YouTube recently announced changes to its partnership and monetization program that kind of got, my side of the internet into a little bit of a twist. There's an awful lot of speculation and misinformation flying around at the moment. Fake news, if you will. I've put together this video, which I think is going to be quite long, trying to dispel any of the myths that are out there that are incorrect, and also help you guys understand how you are going to be affected, why we are being affected by this, and whether or not the world is going to end. This video is going to come in 5 parts. First of all, what is it that they've actually done? Second of all, why have they done it? Thirdly, how are you going to be affected if you're a smaller creator? Fourthly, how are you going to be affected if you are a larger creator? And then finally, what might we be able to do as a community going forward to, aid the whole process? If you are here for a particular part of the video that is relevant to you and you don't care about the wider implications of a sweeping policy that YouTube are imposing on all of us sweet, innocent creators, then you can find the timestamps down in the doobly-doo. Feel free to skip to whichever section you want to skip to. I won't judge. But for those of you that are here for the long haul, let's buckle in. Start filling our brains with backstory. Yes. 2017 was a pretty crappy year for everyone, not least for YouTube, its creators, and its advertisers. As a response to this, Google released information on a blog where they post about their ad revenue sharing product, AdSense, that addressed changes that they were making to their platform. Don't worry, I was also unaware that this blog existed until I did some research for this video, so don't worry, no shame. Firstly, they're implementing tighter controls on who can actually earn money and monetize on YouTube. Previously, anybody with over 10,000 views on their channel were able to join something called the Partner Program and monetize their content. This criteria is going to be overhauled in the next month or so. From the 20th of February 2018, a channel will have to have at least 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time over the last 12 months in order to qualify for any type of monetization. Any channel that is currently in the partner program but does not reach these criteria will be removed from the program after the 20th of February this year. More information on how this specifically affects smaller channels is going to come later in this video. Secondly, YouTube are rolling out changes to eligibility to be part of a service called Google Preferred. Google Preferred is a premium service available to advertisers that want to buy ad space on the most popular videos on YouTube. And it's somewhat awkwardly explained by this cool and quirky video.
Today we're going to talk about Google Preferred. Google Preferred was built for television advertisers. You can think of it like primetime television. It includes some of the most popular content on YouTube, including videos just like this one.
I hope you can appreciate that in order to edit this, I've just been sitting here making faces at myself in the camera. So, a little bit of behind the scenes for you there. Google Preferred has traditionally covered the top 5% of channels, but now everything included in that program will be manually reviewed before it is included in these premium ad spots. Ads from Google Preferred will only run on videos that have already been cleared by a person, so there's no more run ads now and ask questions later. For more information on how this is going to affect the bigger creators, stay tuned for later on in the video where I'll be breaking it down a little more concisely. I would argue that YouTube are trying to tackle 2 distinct problems that they've had on the site when it comes to advertising over the past year, with 2 very distinct solutions. Firstly, advertisers have been spooked on YouTube over the past year by some high-profile stories of unsavory content appearing across the site and getting past enforcement of community guidelines. Arguably, the 2 biggest stories were PEwdiepie, who got some guys in South Asia to write an anti-Semitic message on a sign, after which we saw the automation of demonetization en masse of channels that rated anything above PG-13, including this one, #proud. The second of these stories actually happened at the beginning of 2018 when overgrown human minion Logan Paul ended up filming himself reacting to a dead body in a forest in Japan. Side note, I thought that me calling Logan Paul a human minion was an original thought. I thought it was quite funny, put that line in there, and then realised he's done a whole video where he refers to the fact and seems self-aware enough to know that he is a little bit like one of those little yellow terrors. I mean, at least he has that going for him. 9 days, yes, 9 days after Paulgate, YouTube went to Twitter, because that's the only place where anyone reads anything anymore, to condemn Logan the giant baby by saying, "We know that the actions of one creator can affect the entire community, so we'll have more to share soon on steps we're taking to ensure a video like this is never circulated again." The direct counter to behaviours of creators like PewDiePie and Logan Paul from the new processes that we saw earlier in the video is the manual clearing of content that appears alongside Google preferred adverts. This, to me anyway, seems to make sense and seems to be an appropriate response, though I'll talk about some of the other implications later on in the video, as I said before. But for creators like myself who have been following these stories of larger YouTubers posting unsavoury content on the site, it looks like the crackdown on monetization of smaller channels, as well as the restrictions that we're now going to see on Google Preferred, have been caused by the actions of people like Pewds and Logan Paul. And a lot of the community have assumed this, have assumed that the actions of people like PewDiePie and Logan Paul have caused for a load of smaller channels to now have monetization taken away. They've picked that up, they've run with it, and I mean, I am also guilty of this speculation on Twitter myself. Please don't hate me, I am a fallible human being. And I maintain that some of the concerns that have been raised are legitimate. There is something sad about raising the bar when it comes to allowing monetization of smaller channels. There are countless smaller creators on this site who make amazing content that will now be excluded from monetization. People, like some of my favourite YouTubers, people like Can't Stop Me and So Yeah. To be fair, they won't miss out on an awful lot. On a blog post by YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki, how the fuck do you pronounce her name?
My name's Susan Wojcicki, and...
Susan Wojcicki. That's embarrassing. So, on a blog post by the YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki, which, to be completely honest, I also barely knew existed, she confirmed that though these changes will affect a significant number of channels, that's the demonetization of anybody with under 1,000 subscribers, 99% of those affected were making less than $100 per year in the last year, with 90% earning less than $2.50 in the last month. One of the reasons that I think this smarts so much for creators on this website was articulated really well by a guy called Peter Kafka on the website Recoded, where he said that this is an important symbolic change for YouTube, which was founded on the idea that anyone can use the platform and has spent years trying to entice video makers to find audiences and create careers on the site. The thing is, this clampdown on smaller channels, it's probably being put in place as a counter to an issue that is very much less on the community's radar. There have been headlines that have expressed concerns from advertisers about there being such a wide pool of channels that could potentially appear alongside their adverts. Because there are so many of these small channels, it is literally impossible for YouTube to be able to police them all and ensure that they all adhere to the expectations that advertisers may have. In extreme cases, it's possible that companies who buy adverts end up indirectly funding terrorism and their sympathisers. This is not confirmed by YouTube, but these concerns are almost definitely the reason we are seeing this raising of the bar of entry for smaller channels that want to monetize. I think it's really important that we as a community acknowledge that these restrictions on smaller channels are not being implemented out of spite. They are control for a very real and serious concern that companies have which buy advertisements on YouTube. Whether you're Walgreens or Waitrose, it can sometimes be it's slightly awkward when you find out you've been accidentally funding ISIS. You know? Okay, let's regroup and try and really understand how these policy changes are going to affect the creators. To reiterate, in order to become part of the partner program and therefore earn money from ads running around your videos, a channel will need to amass 1,000 subscribers and have 4,000 hours of watch time in the past 12 months. Annoyingly, YouTube Analytics will automatically tell you your watch time in minutes, so you'll have to reach 240,000 minutes in order to equal 4,000 hours of watch time. Those channels which do not meet these new requirements but are already able to monetize because of previous criteria will be removed from the partner program and have monetization taken away from the 20th of February. There has been a lot of speculation and misinformation about what actually happens to a channel once it is removed, kicking and screaming, from the partnership program. So here is a definitive rundown from the YouTube support blog of what you will still be able to do even once you are removed from the partnership program. You will still be able to link to cards and end screens, but new channels will not be able to link to external websites like iTunes or to merch stores if they're not part of the partner program. However, channels that are part of the partner program now, but are being removed after the 20th of February because they don't meet the criteria anymore, those channels will still maintain the ability to link externally. The ability to customize your thumbnails will also not be affected by your membership or otherwise of the partnership program, but you will need to verify your channel by phone. You'll also still be able to do live streams regardless as to whether or not you're part of the program, but you will have to have a verified channel and have no live restrictions in the last 90 days in order to do so. Everyone will also still be able to apply for a custom URL, but you have to adhere to different standards in order to apply for this. You have to have over 100 subscribers, have a channel that is at least 30 days old, and have an uploaded picture as your channel icon. The only features tied specifically to the partnership program are firstly the super chat function, which I'm sure everybody is aware of and uses. This is basically a feature that allows enhanced interactions with viewers when you do a live stream. Secondly, your ability to be part of the sponsorship program will also be affected if you're not part of the partnership program. This basically allows certain creators to provide merch to their viewers in exchange for payment, but this is also just in closed beta at the moment for the majority of creators anyway, so this probably isn't something that you're going to end up missing. Largely, the changes for smaller creators are, well, small. You'll have access to a vast majority of the features that you've been used to. You just don't get a check for it, and let's be fair, it would have ended up being a very small amount of money anyway. Does the demonetization still suck? Yes. Does it mean the end of YouTube and of smaller creators? No, less so. Arguably, the changes to Google Preferred are going to have a bigger effect on large creators than the change to the eligibility to the partnership program are going to have on smaller creators. Though I will say there seems to be a lot of speculation about the consequences about the changes to Google Preferred, and so a lot of what we are assuming and estimating are kind of a little bit up in the air because we aren't sure. Larger creators, specifically those in the top 5%, get higher rates of ads as they are seen as having premium content. Debatable. In the past, these premium creators were automatically given premium advertising because it was assumed that their content would also be community and advertiser friendly. From what we know, it looks like each individual video is going to have to be manually approved for Google Preferred advertising before it actually gets that advertising. We don't know how long this review process is going to get, but we can assume that it's probably going to be less or slower than instantaneous, considering how long the manual appeals process takes when a video is currently demonetized automatically. Most videos get the majority of their views and therefore revenue in the first few days or even hours of them being uploaded. This means that revenue from ads for larger channels may be hit significantly. A solution to this problem that has been offered by YouTube in the past is to upload a video as unlisted and then to wait for it to get premium advertising approval so that you don't have that period of waiting for the premium ads to actually appear once the video is live. However, this isn't really a practical solution for a lot of creators, especially those who have time-sensitive content, like, for example, people who do current event commentary or news content. The best I can tell you, if you're a larger creator, is to maintain a really good, close relationship with your YouTube partnership manager and be kind to them, because they're dealing with an environment that is moving and shifting very quickly under their feet as well, and they're trying to get to grips with it. They want you to do well too. So be kind to the Google employees. Bless them. They didn't choose this. That is, unfortunately, the best I can offer right now for larger creators. In the meantime, and finally, let's talk about what we can do going forward. Some suggestions. I have some thoughts. First of all, as a community, it's important that we continue to do what we should have been doing anyway in the first place and supporting each other. There was a wonderful hashtag going around on the socials and the medias that I saw promoted by 1080 called hashtag Small and Mighty, where they promoted their favourite smaller YouTubers and creators. It's important we continue to do this. 3 individuals that I hope that you go and watch who have smaller channels are Chelsea Dickinson, Can't Stop Me, and So Yeah. They are brilliant smaller creators. I love all of their content. I hope that you like it too. And I will continue to do all that I can as a more medium tier creator to support people who are littler. It's equally important that viewers like you also partake in this. Let me know who you are watching who's a smaller creator downstairs in the comments. As we see more and more demonetization and the removal of premium ads from this platform, you will have seen recently more and more people turning to crowdsourcing platforms like Patreon. This channel has a Patreon because I'm always demonetized. It's great fun. If you are financially able, I am going to give you some homework. I want you to go and find a creator to just give $1 a month to. $1 a month makes a ton of difference. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. Finally, some of you who've been following me for a while know that I am currently taking part in some research at Oxford University's Internet Institute. Mummy and Daddy are ever so proud. Broadly, I am studying labour movements on platform economies, which sounds like jargon, because it is, but basically I'm studying YouTubers and our ability to organise as a group of workers. Basically, YouTubers are unionising. What does that mean? I'm studying the Internet Creators Guild, and it is the closest thing to a trade union that YouTubers and creators have. It is grossly underused. The ICG could be and can be used as a fantastic way of amplifying the creator's voice when it comes to negotiating with YouTube and ensuring that when there are policy changes with YouTube, that first of all, they're communicated properly, because I think YouTube have proven that they are fantastically great at communication, and also so that the community can have an input. If you aren't a member of the Internet Creators Guild and you can afford it, and you're a creator that cares about our voice as a community, join the ICG, but also be active. Don't just pay the fee. Let the ICG know that you're unhappy with a particular course of action that YouTube has taken. YouTube and the wider internet are changing hugely and rapidly, and this website that I grew up on and have chosen to make a significant amount of my life on is warping into something that nobody thought it would warp into. And we need to be vigilant. Continue to do that. My name has been Jazza. still is, Jazza. Subscribe, there's my face, enjoy that. The YouTube algorithm, almighty that it is, suggests that you will like this video. It's their fault if you don't like it. And all I really want is a zigga zigga. Worth it.